What is up, YouTube? It's Rsmario here, bringing you another Legend of Zelda, Legend of Zelda video. So, in the Legend of Zelda, there are a lot of origin stories that go on within this series. Specifically at this point in the timeline, around, between Minish Cap and Skyward Sword, if that is exactly where Legend of Zelda Wii U takes place, yes, we will be seeing a lot of origin stories. So, with Legend of Zelda Wii U, we should probably expect some origins as well. Hopefully one in particular. And that would be the origins of the Gerudo. Now, where do they tie in as far as being enemies in Zelda Wii U? It's not going to be the Gerudo tribe themselves, because we already know that the enemy in the next game is going to be someone completely new. If that still applies, if the game's not being rebooted completely. The enemy is going to be a brand new force of evil, another incarnation of demise. So, let's go back to the beginning. There are many theories about the origin of the Gerudo, but nothing is concretely said by Nintendo, either in a game or outside of a game, exactly where the Gerudo come from. Some people believe that they're an offshoot of the Hylians. They're a group of Hylians who left and went out to the desert, and they just changed by being out there into what we see as the Gerudo today. Others believe that they may be an offshoot of the Sheikah because they have dark skin, and maybe these Sheikahs left for a particular reason. That will actually be a pretty interesting theory for another video. But the biggest belief as far as the origins of the Gerudo is Groose. That's right, Groose. Many people think that Groose is the progenitor of the Gerudo race. I mean, for some reason, he's the only guy in Skyloft that is mysteriously darker than everyone else. He has red hair. He looks like a big Gerudo guy. And he even has kind of an attitude you would think that an early Gerudo person would. So I mean, even in the end of Skyward Sword, he flies off toward the desert. So maybe he goes out there, he settles, and eventually his offspring are the Gerudo. But one thing here, they can definitely connect the dots this way. If Nintendo decides to do this, they can definitely connect him to the origin of the Gerudo and to the origin of Ganondorf. Stay with me here. Now, this is a theory, so don't get all crazy and this is a theory. Just like any other theory, it's a theory. Now, let's say, when Demise cursed Zelda and Link before he died, that curse didn't just fall on them. Since technically them, they are the main reasons for his death, there's also a third party that had a lot to do with not only his death, but also delaying him even being released anyway, and that was Groose. Without Groose's help, Demise would have been released far earlier than Link and Zelda could prepare, and we would have probably had a very different story on our hands. So Groose was a big big factor in Demise's defeat and delay. So maybe the curse actually falls on Groose as well. Maybe not as directly as it did on Zelda and Link, but it definitely falls on him. Now, if he's the progenitor of the Gerudo clan, this would explain why so many times has the reincarnation of Demise been through the Gerudo clan, because Groose is cursed. Maybe Groose fell under that curse, and his curse is that his children will be the tools that Demise uses to attack the descendants of the hero and the princess. That would explain so much. And that would that would explain why Ganondorf's always evil, why there's only one male, but it doesn't per se explain why there's only one male born, but it would explain why 9 times out of 10 that one dude is always evil. You know, it would explain a lot with the Gerudo race. Another thing they could do with the progenitors of the forerunners of the Gerudo is they could explain why the Gerudo don't like the Hylians. Like, I mean, they don't dislike them per se, but they don't have a lot of respect for Hylians or their culture. You know, Gerudos have a completely different culture all their own in even a different religions system. You know, whereas the Hylians worship the golden goddesses, the Gerudos worship the goddess of sand. Even though she does have a somewhat of resemblance to Din, the goddess of power, who they do also kind of revere, their main goddess is the goddess of sand. So they have, there's a lot of differences going on, and there is some animosity there. And having the Gerudo ancestors be the villains of Legend of Zelda Wii U would definitely explain why these two groups don't exactly get along. And, while eventually there are wars and all other kind of things that happen between the two. So that's about it. This was kind of a short theory. Main reason is because it took a long time to do this one, because the theory was actually redone like several times. I've been getting like extremely anal with the theories, and I'm sorry about that, but that's kind of why it takes them a long time to come out, because I really want them to be good theories and not just something, oh, this could be interesting, and I just stick it out there. I'm getting better at it, but yeah, so like, comment, subscribe, and as always, keep it real.